I am not teaching, I am publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for the Life in the UK test, part 563, while doing leg injury prevention training. And if you participate in the leg injury prevention training in the second part of the video, that's at your own risk. Now we want in this video repeat all we learned to the British comedy, then learn it in a presentable manner, and then maybe already in this video show the video in which we're going to list it all down for other people also to look just for that video. That sentence is so strong said here, directly as the introduction. Comedy and satire are important in the United Kingdom, and also the ability to laugh at themselves is important in Britain. An important part of the British character. Maybe we're going to do it as the final words. Let's really do it as an opening. Already during the medieval times, there were jesters, and they were telling jokes and made fun of people to the amusement by the nobles or the kings of the monarchy, by the nobles, by the royalty. Also, William Shakespeare had in his works comic characters. In the 18th century it started that there were political cartoons, maybe it was already previously. In the 18th century there were political cartoons, and they were attacking prominent politicians, and sometimes also the monarchy or the royal family. And that became increasingly popular. Let's read the sentence again, I'm not reading the sentence, I'm basically just taking the words. In the 18th century, political cartoons attacking prominent politicians and sometimes the monarchy or other members of the royal family became increasingly popular. Okay, we can say it like that. During the 18th century, it became increasingly popular to make political cartoons, political cartoons, or satire, can also say that, about politicians and also of the royal family and the monarch. And then in the 19th century there were satirical magazines published. And the most famous one, The Punch. So the royal family and politicians, 18th and the 19th century, The Punch. Satirical magazines, for example, The Punch. That first in the 1840s. That is the 19th century. They are still published, political cartoons. And there's also then, for example, The Private Eye, a satirical magazine. So The Punch and then The Private Eye today. There is a form of varieté theater where comedians are making comedy. But when the television became the leading form of entertainment. Okay, let's start it the other way around. In the 40s and 50s, there were, for example, Morecambe and Wise. Morecambe and Wise. Morecambe and Wise, and they performed in music halls, which is a form of varieté theater. So Morecambe and Wise. I'm completely unfamiliar with the names for some reason. Morecambe and Wise, probably because we haven't worked properly on that now. Morecambe and Wise. In the 40s and 50s, there were, for example, Morecambe and Wise, and they were working in music halls, which is a specific form. I can say specific. It is a form of varieté theater. It's not important to say specific, but a form of varieté theater. And they were doing the comedy. And these two, for example, also made it then into the television world, which then became in the 60s, I didn't say it here, but it must have been in the 60s, the leading form of entertainment in the UK. In the television then, comedy. In the television, in the 50s and 60s, I want to mention that then, there were a number of comedies. For example, then, Passport to Pimlico, The Ladykillers, and the Carry On films. And also situation comedies, or sitcoms developed. And a new genre came up, a new format, the sitcoms, the situation comedies. Often making fun of family life and relationships, which often look at family life and relationships in the workplace, remain popular. And they are still popular. And there have developed sitcoms, situation comedies, oftentimes set in workplace and family life, workplace and family situations, family life over family relationships, and at home, family life, and they are still popular. There was also a show in the 60s that was Very Good Wars, and also Spitting Image. That was Very Good Wars and Spitting Image. And Spitting Image in the 80s and 90s. Okay, there was Very Good Wars 60s, Spitting Image 80s and 90s. And in 1969 there was Monty Python's Flying Circus, and they had a new type of comedy, a progressive type of comedy. And also stand-up comedy. That is where a single person talks to an audience, has become more and more popular. I think that is what we want to mention in the British comedy part. We don't have time to do that now. We would have time for around one take, but I don't want to have the pressure to make it by the first take. So we're going to do it in the next video, where we try to shoot what we learned about the comedy and save it down for other people that can also watch that. And we also have it ourselves in our own words and so on in a separate video again, and we can look just for that. So, if you're just here to shoot that video, you can go directly to the next video. We will do now the leg injury prevention training. If you participate in the leg injury prevention training, this is the outlet. We're bringing one leg up and we're pointing the foot down. And we're going up and down and up and down and up and down. The greeting mushroom. Now the other leg with the foot up and down, up and down. And now the chunky glider legs are standing wide apart and we're breathing in and coming down. And out. Okay. And out. Okay. And out. Now we're really close the legs. And next exercise. Have a good standing leg. The other leg with the flex foot in the air. We're swinging to the side. Side front and to the side. I had an idea. We're going to do now British comedy, and then we're going to do television, and then we're going to do another video, film and television. And then we're going to tell about the films and the television and the comedy together. We're not going to list the movies. Maybe you're going to do it. Why not? Such a big video. Maybe you're going to do it extra. And the other day, maybe we're going to do it too. So films and television, and maybe we're going to even list all the movies again. Telling about comedy. First we're going to talk about film, then the whole part about comedy. How are they interconnected? Then you could rather start directly with the comedy. Then you start with comedy, then with television and radio, and then over to film. And then list also the films. I mean, the information we have there, and it's almost really. Let's start with the next exercise. We are bringing the foot in front and back, flex foot again. The information we have so easily here all together. We cannot just let it unused or throw it away what we have here. We are very close to be able to say it all down in 5-6 minutes. Why should we not do it? Okay, let's look a bit on, not television, we're going to confuse it. Can we do something about pubs and nightclubs? I have an idea. We're going to do the UK landmarks. And when we're going on and talking about, doesn't really make sense to talk then about pubs and nightclubs. If you're talking about leisure, then we could mention again the garden and cooking and food and shopping. And the other thing was sports. Doesn't really make sense. So I don't think we can include in pubs and nightclubs. That will become also a problem with the next. They have looked at nightclubs. So we're having one leg up. We're having a riding of the leg, a flex foot. We're having even lined hips. We're taller with the back. We're breathing in. And out we're bringing the leg to the side. And breathe in. And out leg into the middle. And down. And again up. Breathe in. And out leg to the side. Breathe again in. And out. And down. Lift the other leg up, breathe in. Out to the side. Breathe again in. Out into the middle. And down. And another time, leg up, breathe in. And out into the middle. To the outside. Breathe in. And out into the middle. And down. Next exercise. One leg up. Riding with the leg, flex foot, even line hips taller to the back, and pressing against the inside of the knee. little bend in the elbow. Even aligned hips, turn up with the back, little bend in the elbow. And on the other side, leg up, same setup, and keep pressing again. Even aligned hips, turn up with the back, little bend in the elbow. And next exercise, very similar. Now the knee presses up, to the side, up, to the side. Even aligned hips, turn up with the back. And the knee presses up, to the side, up, to the side. And on the other side, leg up, the knee presses up, to the side. Even aligned hips, turn up with the back, and then knee presses up to the side. And the next exercise, one hand on tummy or one on lower back, and we're lifting one leg up in a straight line. If the quad muscles cramp, then bring the leg up and point the foot. I bring the leg up, flex foot, try to bring it higher. Control with the hands that you don't fall back, try to bring the leg higher. Try to bring it higher. Control the hands with the don't fall back and try to bring the leg higher. And bring it up. And the other leg. Up. We could do a video about horse racing. And then we're going to add the gambling part, the betting and gambling part. Try to bring the leg higher and bring it up. And I had already the idea. Now would be bad with the burger on the name. That one leg points to the outside with the foot, the other leg with the heel on the ground, but lifting the heel off the ground and placing it again on the ground and down to too many. To add the part about pubs and nightclubs by the laws which were listed here. But the problem with the whole thing with was the sense I was just talking with pubs and nightclubs, that is about legal things, and we have just very broad things. So really not really able to do a singular video about it. We will repeat it, of course, for the live new cases, but we're not able to shoot a separate video for other people to find if we have it just so broadly. Now I'm changing the leg. Okay, here's it. Public houses, pubs. They are an important part of the UK social culture. Many people enjoy meeting friends at the pub. Most communities will have a local pub that is the natural focal point for social activities. Pub quizzes are popular. Pool and darts are traditional pub games. To buy alcohol in a pub or nightclub you must be 18 or over, but people under that age may be allowed in some pubs. With an adult. When they are 16, people can drink wine or beer with a meal in a hotel or restaurant, including eating areas in pubs, as long as they are with someone over 18. Pubs are usually open during the day from 11 a.m. 12 noon on Sundays. Nightclubs with dancing and music usually open and close later than pubs. The licensee decides the hours the pub or nightclub is open. The last exercise you can do the horse. No, stand business is that just up and down. You can do the horse, you bring the knee in and bring it out and again in and out. Don't kick yourself, so I have a hand here. Or you can do another exercise. You just swing the leg back. You have a flex foot at the swinging leg. The upper part of the body goes simultaneously down and the back leg comes up. Try to be tall on the standing leg. And try not to fall in knee and down. And last two. And over the other. Flex foot at the swinging leg. The upper part of the body goes down in the moment when the leg comes up. Try to be tall on the standing leg. And try not to fall in the down. And don't do too many, but we're just doing two more. And now we're closing exercise. Breathing in. And out. Out. And one last time, breathe in. Out. Breathe in and close the legs. And out. I thank you very much, and until next time.